I have another very exciting video for you because I just ran to Kiko Milano. As soon as I saw that this collection was coming, I was planning how I was gonna do this today because I had to work, but I just ran after work to the Kiko Milano, grabbed a lot of things from the new Starry Love collection, and I'm gonna be trying them out with you right now. So let's get into it. So I actually am very excited about this collection because usually the Valentine's collection by Kiko Milano is my absolute favorite. And even though I was a little surprised by the choice of this collection, I wouldn't have thought of it. I quite like what I have here in front of me. I quite like the packaging, the vibe. It's kind of like space meets love. And I'm here for it. All right, let's start with the first thing. I got this headband, this velvety blue with little like rhinestones on it. I didn't know if I should wear this. I never wear headbands. Okay. Do I look cute or do I look silly? I should cut this. I never do this. I've never worn a headband like this, but for the sake of the video, I'm gonna put this on. Then the next thing that I have here, I decided to grab a nail polish from this collection. This is the Kiko Milano Starry Love Metallic Spark Nail Lacquer in the shade, I guess it's shade 4. Doesn't it have another name? It is a very sparkly in the bottle. It's kind of like this purple to blue sparkly duochrome. I applied this on the nails right before filming, and I have to say it's pretty sheer. But it's very sparkly. It is very pretty, but I would wear this as kind of like a topper shade. I applied 4 layers of this and it just looked very see-through still. I'm wearing it right now. It is, I think you're not gonna see it as much on camera how see-through it is, but it is still very see-through. It also doesn't dry very fast. I did kind of like mess up a few nails. I don't know if you're gonna see it in the close-ups and the swatches of the other products because I did this first. At least I did that. I did this first and then I kind of messed it up later, but I think it's a cute polish, especially for €6, but it's just more of a topper shade. I just thought it was fun to try some Kiko Milano nail polish. I usually don't really do that. All right, and now we're just gonna jump into the look, and then as we go, I will show you the swatches, I will show you the close-ups, and I will give you all the information. Okay, I wanna go into the eyeshadow at first. So I'm applying a little primer. And yeah, the eyeshadow palette, I really like the outer packaging of this. Like it's kind of like a blue to purple shimmery kind of thing. And I'm quite into it. I feel like it is quite like, I don't know, it feels a little festive. It feels a little like chic and I like it. We have 2 eyeshadow palettes in this collection and I was really debating picking them both up because they both swatch amazing, but this is more kind of like my color story. The other one is a little bit warmer, this one is a little cooler. I also really wanted to try like the blue in here to see if it's impactful because usually Kiko Milano is a little bit like softer with the colors. So I was really like intrigued by this one, but yeah. The other one with the red, the matte red shade also looked amazing. And yeah, one of my goals is to try more Kiko Milano eyeshadows. And when I swatched these, I was like, bingo. This is what we're gonna do. So let's see. We have 1 really light matte and then we have 2 deep mattes. So that doesn't really give us a transition shade. I'm just gonna go in with the gray and see how that goes. Like, makes it a little bit more difficult to blend, but we're just gonna do our best. Okay, that looks quite nice and pigmented. It's a gray with a lot of blue in the undertone. This matte formula seems pretty similar to the matte formula, at least so far. Like looking at it, swatching it, it looks very similar to the Beauty Essentials eyeshadow palette that I really like from last year's collection. So I'm just carefully dipping in and then pressing it on, and I feel like that's going well. Like just very controlled. I feel like that's looking pretty good, at least for a gray that doesn't have anything to blend into. I would personally have preferred like one transition shade, just one. But it's a smaller palette, it has 6 shades. So I guess I kind of get it. And I wouldn't mind combining this with something else because it is really small. It's hard to put all of the shades that you would need for any look in the palette. Okay, I'll see if I'll finesse the blend a little bit later. I just want to go in with the blue shimmer, or this one looked a little bit more like a satin in the swatch. So let's see how this looks. Yeah, that is a satin shade. It does have pigment, and I think it's gonna be a nice base for like the truly shimmery shimmers. But satins are not my personal favorite in eyeshadow palettes. It's just a preference thing. Gonna take that brush again, and I kind of wanna blend a little bit more over here. Taking a little bit of gray just for that edge. And then I feel like this look right now needs a little bit of saving. Like something needs to happen. I'm gonna take the lilac shimmer and I'm gonna like press on that very carefully because it's soft, and I'm gonna like, that's what I'm talking about. That is the kind of shimmer formula that I want to see in every and any Kiko Milano eyeshadow palette. If they do this, I am sold. I would love to buy all of the palettes that have this shimmer formula because, ooh, I took too much. That was my fault. I wasn't paying attention because I was mesmerized. I feel like this shimmer formula is just so good. It's really like this almost indie quality sparkly shade, and I am so into it. Okay, I'm gonna go into this a little bit more carefully and do it on the other side as well. Okay, this just made my day. This shimmer just made my whole day. I want to take that brush again, and I want to blend a little again. And I want to take something for the outer edge. I would say this gray is pretty nice. I've tried grays that were much worse. It's not an easy color to formulate, and this is working out, at least the way I used it. Alright, I think I want to put a combination of the brown and the kind of like bone colored matte shade on the lower lash line, and then I'll apply a little bit of this one as well. Let's see how that's gonna work. Okay, that works fine. I actually really like the shade that made. I've been a little scared of Kiko Milano eyeshadow palettes the past year. I kind of was unsure if I wanted to try many of them, but this is looking good. I am gonna apply that champagne shimmer with a brush, and I'm gonna see if it can work as an inner corner highlight. Yes, that's really pretty. And I wanna use a little bit under here. I think I wanna add a little bit of a shadow liner. I'm gonna do that with the brown shade to add a little bit of warmth to the top. I like what shade that gets if you like mesh it together with the bluish purple. It becomes kind of like a plum. Alright, this is gonna be the eye look. I'm gonna go off camera, do a few makeup steps without you, then I'll be right back for the rest of the products. Alright, let's move on to the blush that I got in this collection. In this collection we have two duo blushes that are kind of like a stack, and then we have one side that is powder, one side that is cream. They are called the Stellar Love Galactic Duo Blush. By the way, the eyeshadow palette was the Cosmic Gaze eyeshadow palette in 02 Under the Starry Sky. Forgot to mention the name. So this is 02 Boundless Love, and I decided to go with kind of like the bricky red, or at least the bricky red in the cream blush, because I thought that is really different, like a different kind of shade, something else that I've seen before from Kiko Milano. I have kind of like mauve blushes in different formulas from them, so I wanted to try something different. I'm guessing it's gonna be a little bit out there, maybe not gonna fit totally with the look. So we're gonna start with the cream, and it looks very kind of like balmy, very melty. I don't know how this color is gonna like work with this look, but we're just trying out different products. I'm dipping in twice. It looks pretty pigmented, so we're just starting with this. Let's see how this blends. I really love the cream blushes from last collection, but those are really like, they apply basically like a powder. They're almost like a powder. It's very interesting, and this applies more balmy. I don't know if this is gonna stay sticky. It seems like it might. I feel like this blush color is pretty easy to apply though. It is glowy. It is not too bright red in your face. I think it's pretty cute, but I don't like blushes that stay super sticky. So let's see. By the way, I'm using the Singe Beauty F03 for both the bronzer, the cream bronzer that I use, and the blush. Works great for creams. Very, very interesting. I feel like what is really gonna determine my opinion of this one is if it's gonna dry down. I do feel like I need something to kind of blend the edges a little. I went a little overboard. I do like the finish. I do like the color. It's not like this perfecting type of formula that smooths over the skin. It's kind of like Photoshop in a blush. That is not this. Okay, it doesn't feel sticky. I think it does. Why am I out of focus? I think it does dry down. But it's kind of like this very natural formula, like that formula that really lets all the imperfections through. I tried the Essence Cosmetics lip and cheek stain from the Love Like a Dragons collection yesterday. This makes me think of that finish a lot. Glowy, see-through. I said the word watercolor a lot in yesterday's video, and yeah, that is what this is as well. Alright, we have the blush, which seems a little bit less red, a little bit more pinky almost. Let's see how that applies on top. I feel like with this one we're not gonna feel any creaminess at all anymore. So I'm taking the Singe F06 and we're just gonna go on top with that powder. Feels like it's kind of stuck. Let's see if I can blend it out. I still see the glow. I think I quite like it. I feel like the powder adds a little bit more perfection to the skin. This is with the powder on top, this is without. Take a look. What do you like? What do you prefer? Do you like the glow that it gives? It's a very interesting finish. I feel like I did grab a little bit too much of the powder, but now I have to even it out, so we're just doing that. Okay, how can we fix this a little bit? Sometimes it already goes down a little bit when you apply some highlighter. That kind of can even things out a little. Feel like I'm looking a little crazy. I'm gonna trust the process, apply some highlighter and see if that does something. I don't really have a foundation brush. I didn't use a foundation to go over it, otherwise I would do that. Let's go into the Radiant liquid highlighter. In this collection we have two shades of this one. I got shade 01, but I thought that both looked really, really pretty. So this looks very similar to the liquid highlighter that was in the, I don't remember what it was called, but the holiday collection, not 2023 but 2022. I recently got a liquid highlighter from the collection in the sale just to try it out because I hadn't tried anything like that from Kiko Milano, but now we have something like that in this collection. This is kind of like a cool toned champagne shade, but we're gonna see if this is similar to that highlighter because that formula I felt personally was pretty soft. So it just has kind of like this doe foot applicator and we're just gonna be applying a little. I think this is gonna take it all down a notch. I'm gonna use the Singe Beauty F07 and we're gonna just see. It's less natural, I think. Why am I out of focus? What is going on? What the actual heck? Okay, I am so sorry if that's been happening more often in this video. That would suck. I hope that didn't happen. This is the highlighter. It is pretty easily visible. Alright, we have a powder highlighter as well, and I do want to use that on the other cheek, because if I use this powder highlighter on top of the liquid highlighter, it's gonna change a lot of how this looks. And this powder highlighter, it looked really nice in the store, but then when I just swatched it, it looked very like powdery. I really want to put it to the test. This is the Stella Love Cosmic Shine highlighter. It's only one shade. It's kind of like this marbled baked highlighter. It is kind of like nude, very like bone colored, and then it has some kind of lilac veining throughout it. So I'm just gonna take the same brush, there's nothing left on it, and I'm just gonna like dip in and see. Yeah, that is super natural. That is really natural. That is on the level of the Essence Pure Nude highlighter. I'm gonna try and build this up a little. Okay, it does look very pretty and natural, much more like, how do you call this, like airbrush for the face. This emphasizes a little bit more texture. This is very airbrushed. Let's do this on the forehead as well. I'm gonna apply a bit of this on this cheek as well to maybe even out the shade a little. The more I apply it, the more I like it. Alright, I bought 2 lipsticks in this collection. First up, I got the Stella Love Duo Lip Color in Gloss. I got the shade 02 Beating Hearts. And this is a very warm tone, kind of like corally shade almost. I don't really know how to describe it. All of the shades that were in this 2-in-1 situation lineup, I thought were pretty warm toned, and then we had a pretty deep brown. Yeah, we had like kind of like a warm toned nude, then we had this one was pretty warm toned, and then we have a mauve shade that is pretty similar to what we had last year, and that one, it's the one that I bought last year, and then a deep brown. So I decided that this was probably the shade that would add the most to my collection. I still wanted to try it out, even though I think it's going to be exact same as what we've seen last year. Last year they did pretty well, like these did really well. They were sold out in 2 days and then they didn't really come back. Only online you could still get them for a little bit after. But now we have them again, and we had them in the holiday collection. We have them again. They're really popular for Kiko Milano. It's the same thing. Alright, let's apply the lipstick part first. This is the first product where I'm like, that's very perfumey. It has a very strong scent to it. Does feel very comfortable. It is kind of like thin, creamy, very warm. Like especially with this eyeshadow, the contrast, it's very noticeable. That is very warm. But yeah, pretty cute. Let's move on to the lip gloss. By the way, this is officially the Stella Love Duo Lip Color and Gloss. That gloss is just very thin, adds a little bit of shine. In my experience with other shades of last year, these products are pretty long wearing, even though it's a glossy finish, because it's just quite thin. The whole situation is quite thin. Feel like it isn't too smeary. So yeah, I quite like it. I do feel like for me it leans pretty like almost orangey. I feel like on warm toned people, like I'm neutral to cool, if you have a warm undertone, it's not gonna look as warm on you. And then we have the Starry Love Velvet Caress lipstick. I got the shade 01 Love Thrill. I have to say that the colors of this line were very interesting. Like them all, kind of was debating picking another shade, but I had to reel myself in because I already wanted a lot from this collection and I want to be able to say as much as possible. I really love the packaging of this, like the shimmer in the bullet. I feel like they went there with this packaging. Really love it. It's magnetic. Then we have the embossing with the little stars. It's so cute. Really love how they did this. This is not that sticky matte formula by Kiko Milano. It stays on forever on the lips, but just feels so dry and sticky. I think this is not that. We're gonna try it out. I'm very excited to try this kind of like, I don't know, neutrally mid-tone nude shade. Alright, feels pretty comfortable. I really like the shade. I do feel like it doesn't really fit with the cheeks. The cheeks, they're a lot for this look. I do like this with the eyeshadow. Gonna apply a little bit of lip liner. It feels good. It feels good. That is with a little bit of a lip liner. I don't know. I'm kind of here for it. I feel like it's a very nice formula and I really like the shade. Alright, this is gonna be the finished look. And I have to say, once again, Kiko Milano really took it there. They really did something with their Valentine's collection. I am so here for it. I mean, I really, really, really like this look. Let's go over the products. So, the headband, don't know if I'm gonna wear it again. Let me know if you like it. The nail polish, I like. I do need to be a little bit patient with it. Probably gonna take this off real soon because it did get messed up. But I feel like it's a really nice topper shade. It's €6. It's really affordable. Then the eyeshadow palette, I really like it. I think that the eye look came out beautifully. Love the sparkly shimmers in here. The mattes worked well so far as I tried them. The blue is my favorite shade, but it works as a very nice base for the sparkly shimmers, so I'm fine with that. I do like it so far. Then we have the powder highlighter. I was unsure when I swatched this. I was really unsure, but I feel like there's something about this that, especially when built up a little bit, makes my skin look very good. I am intrigued. I just feel like the type of glow that this gives, it just looks very flattering on the skin and I'm here for it. I really like it. Then we have the Duo blush. I have to make up my mind about it. I feel like I liked it more with just the cream. I feel like it got a little messy when I applied the powder on top. I'm gonna try them separately, see how I feel about it. I just feel like it looks a little messy. I feel like it didn't like totally work, not 100%. It's like an 80%, but I'm expecting a lot from blushes and Kiko Milano blushes specifically. Maybe it's also the look that this can really go with, but it just seems just a tiny bit uneven. So like the jury is still out on that one. I don't know yet how I feel. Then we have the liquid highlighter. Quite like it. It looked nice on the skin. It was glowy, easy to blend. I like the color. This is a nice one. The 2-in-1 lip color seems to be the same thing as last year, but I did like the shades more from last year. But I think this is gonna be one that I can wear more in the summer. I'm really pale now. It does look very bright right now, but the formula of this is really nice. And then this matte lipstick, I have to say, I feel like it looks very flattering on the lips. Really like the color. It feels creamy but looks matte, kind of like this comfort matte. I'm gonna see if it kind of dries out my lips later. But it is kind of late at night, so I'm not really gonna be able to test it right now. I'm gonna test it at a later moment and tell you in the new makeup updates. I always come back and update you on products that I've tried. So far I like it. We're gonna see. Alright, and that's gonna be everything for today's video. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like the video if you liked it. And don't forget to subscribe. And let me know in the comments if you're gonna pick up anything from this collection. And then I'll see you in my next video. Bye bye.